So the CAM box is not an approach for all children. Some children would come straight to the CAM box and it's completely overstimulating for them. There's too much colour, there's too much choice, and that in itself would be enough to get them up that scale and go to a 5. So we speak to the staff and we say to them, you really need to get to know your child. When they are in a place where they're back down at a 1 and they're CAM and learning, have that conversation with them and just say, when you're starting to feel a little bit upset, a little bit anxious, is there a little trigger, is a little gesture you could have to the teacher so that they know without you being able to say, I'm feeling really angry, because sometimes even to tell an adult is stressful enough, so they'd be sitting there thinking. So what we say is try and find something. Do they like, we had a child who really liked motorbikes, it was a motorbike brochure. They took the motorbike brochure and they sat and they looked at the motorbikes. Some children really like the old-fashioned worksheet sums because it means they can think about that and they don't need to think about anything else. Some people like to sit and look at a story, the picture books, but really it is about speaking to that child and finding out what would work for them and then practising it a couple of times, probably co-regulate with them and make sure they're all right, and then you'd have a strategy to go and use with them. And we speak to the staff about the language they would use as well. So we would say to children, I wonder if you're feeling a little bit upset. Can you tell me? We're not saying, oh, you're angry. And this is with the CAM box, it's not a naughty step, it's not a naughty box, it's not you must go and use the CAM box. Because we've said to staff as well, when children are at a point of anger at a 5 and too upset, again, they're not going to take this because it's going to get destroyed, it's going to get wasted. It's catching them before and knowing the triggers. Because if they were really angry and they were really upset, that's when we promote the classroom safe space. It's got a rug, it's got the pillows, it's got the stories. That's more of an area to try and. We've got a blanket because some children like to just hide underneath the blanket just to block out everything else that's going on around them. Taking that time to get to know them, having the relationship with them is the key thing. And then they know you're genuinely interested and you genuinely care and you want to help them when they're at that point. They see you as a friend. And well, we use the 5-point scale because some children will relate to the colours, red being angry, some children will relate to the numbers, and we also have the pictures, and we've got feelings faces we can match to it as well. We do a lot of work like that. We speak to the children about the brain. We have told us a lot about their amygdala and about how when they get in that fight, flight or fight response, and we use the 5 and we use the glitter jar as an example. So we'll say to the children, when you're at a 5 on the scale, this is your brain, this is your amygdala, your prefrontal cortex and your hippocampus, they can't function because there's too much going on, it's too busy. So we let them see that visual image and we tell them about the brain when you're at a 5. And that's in here, so we try and get it wider out in the school as well. And what we do for that is we use our children that come to the Cosy Corner because they are used to using that with us a lot. And we're able to model it with each other and model it with the children. They can then go out and they can model it to other children. They have delivered assemblies where they've explained this in front of the assembly, and they've went round individual classes as well. And they're like our ambassadors for promoting this. In the classrooms they'll all have a 5-point scale, but it's a bit different. Primary 1, it's coloured dinosaurs. It's like the angry T-Rex and the sad Stegosaurus, so that they're linking it again. It's that consistency with colours and numbers and feelings that can help to support all the children.